We are back racing at Albion Park on Saturday night, a 10-race program. We get underway at 5:24 and it looks fairly evenly balanced on paper. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out this Saturday night. In this edition of Weekend Winners, I plan on catching up with two young gun drivers, Taleah McMullen and Elkins, both coming off big seasons last year, and they're off to a good start in 2023. Here's what they had to say about their drives this Saturday night. Taleah McMullen jumps into the hot seat to go through her book of drives on Saturday night. Taleah, appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me.
Coming off another century season in 2022, were you happy with the results last year?
Yeah, I was really happy. I'm probably not that much of a numbers person, but it's still good to get over 100 wins for the season.
Have you set yourself a target for 2023? Another century, is that the most likely target?
Well, I don't like to put too much pressure on myself. I think I'm better when I don't put too much pressure on myself. I don't think you can really put a number on success, so as long as you enjoy what you're doing, that's the main thing.
Absolutely. Let's go through them. Race 1. This is a fairly open race. Bella Bull Terrier is your drive, number 3. You know this guy inside out. You've been with him a lot in recent times. Now, he's fresh up here on Saturday night. What were your first thoughts here?
It's probably a bit of an awkward draw for him, but he had a pretty nice trial last Tuesday, so I was happy with his trial and I really like him. He's such a nice old horse to drive, so it's good to see him back racing. Probably need a bit of luck from the draw, and again, first up, so he probably needs the run as well. Okay,
awkward because he's just not blessed with great gate speed?
Yeah, he doesn't have a great deal of gate speed, but hopefully we can get into the running line and probably drive him quiet and see what happens this week.
All right, that trial last week, just looking at the vision here, you chased home So Much More, who lines up in this same race on Saturday night, but the trial was good, but would you say as good as the winner, or do you think the winner was probably just a little bit too sharp?
The winner was probably a little bit sharper, but he's had a little while off, so I was happy enough with him. I didn't push him too hard, so I thought he was still pretty good.
Okay, so whatever he does on Saturday night, keep following, more improvement to come.
Yeah, I think so. I think he really loves racing as well, so he likes when he's racing week in, week out.
Okay, let's go across to race 4. Again, you link up with Keith and Melissa Gillies here. This time it's Glenn Letty Boy. I thought he had a terrific chance last week, and he ran well, finishing 4th. How did you sort of grade that effort last week?
I thought he was good. I probably just had to go 3 wide a little bit early in solo, which didn't exactly help. I think he's still a good chance again this week. Probably have to drive him similar, and would really like to see him with 3 wide with cover and have a nice track into the race. I think that would be his go.
Okay, if you thought Bella Bull Terrier had an awkward draw, barrier 4, is that awkward for Glenn Letty Boy?
Yeah, here's another one. They're probably pretty similar, those two. They don't have a great deal of gate speed, so I'd probably nearly rather draw 7 or the back line with them, because there's not really a lot you can do from 4.
But he is going well, better than what that numerical form reads.
Yeah, he is actually racing well. I think these veteran races are a little bit easier for him than what the Band 5s were, so hopefully he gets a nice run somewhere on Saturday.
Yeah, he looks terrific the way he paraded last week. Fit and healthy horse.
Yeah, he does. All of Keith and Melissa's horses look really good, so it's nice to be able to drive them.
This veterans grade, they're very open races, and this one will be no different on Saturday night.
Yeah, they've actually been really strong at the moment. I think there's a lot of horses in that class, and yeah, it's hard to find an easy race for that sort of grade of horse. Okay.
Race 6 on Saturday night. You team up with Ron Sellers here with the Weekend. Here's a horse that's going really well. He's got good number form. He's been placed, 4 of his last 5 starts. His last start effort was good. He had to do some work. He got a little keen, but this looks winnable for him.
Yeah, I haven't driven him before. I see Rissa's driving Ronnie's other one, but I thought that it looked like a winnable race for him. I didn't think it was overly tough, and his racing really good. I thought his run on Tuesday was good, and he sat parked, so hopefully we get somewhere handy, and I think he's a chance.
He got keen on Tuesday though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Probably didn't help himself out there. Hopefully he settles a little bit better.
But this race is probably similar to Tuesday as well as far as the grade is concerned, so if he can repeat what he did on Tuesday, he shouldn't be far away.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
All right, race 7 for the mares here. Rani is your drive. These mares races look fairly open. She's drawn in 5. She looks a chance.
Yeah, she does have gate speed, but it's a bit of an awkward draw. There's a couple there with speed inside of her, so just have to see where we end up early.
Yeah, and the mile is her cup of tea, isn't it? She likes the short course.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's a bit better over the shorter trip.
All right, speaking of mares and short course racing, Goal Kicker lines up in race 8, drawn gate 2. Can she lead here?
I'm not too sure. I think sometimes she's probably a little bit better if you don't have to burn her early. But in saying that, I think if she could find the fence and then take a sit, that she would be a good chance. I think it's probably one of those things we'll have to weigh up out there. If it looks like she's going to cross it easy, then it will be worth a shot, but I don't want to burn her too hard early.
All right, there's a few mares in this race with good numerical form, so it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, that's right, and sometimes, as long as she gets a nice sit on one of those, I think she could be a chance.
Okay, let me ask you this. Are you confident that Goal Kicker will eventually win one of these Saturday night mares races?
I'm probably not too sure.
That's not confidence.
I probably don't have a lot of confidence in her. Dad probably has a bit more than me. But in saying that, her runs of late actually hasn't been too bad. She's probably been a little bit unlucky. So I hope she can win one.
All right, well, fingers crossed for Goal Kicker there on Saturday night. What about in race 9, your own runner here, Scruffy Doodle and the Trotter? He's only had the 3 runs so far. How do you sort of assess him right now?
I actually quite like him. He's a really nice horse to have around the stables. I thought his first run was really good, and then he had a run from the mobile and got way too keen, and then he raced again Tuesday and he was good. He settled good back in the field and they run pretty solid, and he was off 30, so I thought he hit the line okay and hoping to do probably something similar as long as he doesn't get too fired up, but I think he's settles himself down from the stands.
Okay, the run on Tuesday was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought he hit the line pretty good. I was probably driving him a little bit safe. I didn't want him to get revved up because the start before he just pulled way too hard. So hopefully he settles nice in the run this week.
Okay, the horses there from that race on Tuesday, Lisa Castleton winning, Bourbon on the Rocks 3rd. They line up against you again on Saturday night, so they're going to prove obviously hard to beat.
Yeah, I think those two are probably the ones to beat, and there's a couple there that I probably think is a bit better than so hopefully he runs a nice race.
All right, what is the pick of your drives on Saturday night?
It's hard to say. I might go for the weekend. I think it looks a good race for him, so hopefully he might be a good chance. Awesome.
Race 6, number 3, the weekend it is. Appreciate the time as always, and wishing you a very prosperous 2023. Hopefully another century season coming up for you.
Hopefully, thanks.
Matty Elkins has been kind enough to jump into the hot seat now to go through his book of drives on Saturday night. Matty, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris. Pleasure as always.
Just a quick one, reflecting on 2022, career best for you. You would have been thrilled with those numbers.
Yeah, really happy. Sort of set a goal to get 10 winners a month for the year and got past that, so no, I was really happy.
So what's the target for 2023?
I think it's going to be a bit harder, but I would like to try and get to the 150, but and then the main goal, try and beat Narissa for once.
Okay, well, good luck with that challenge. Let's go through your drives here on Saturday night. We start in race 2 with your own horse here, Paravani. He was really good last week. Can he run another bold race here?
Yeah, he was a lot better last week. Probably sort of a step back to where he used to be, but it does look tough on Saturday night. That's a pretty strong field, I think.
Do you think you can lead?
I probably don't think so. Sort of as he's getting a bit older, he's got a bit slower off the arm, and I sort of only elect to buzz him off now once I'm pretty confident I can lead. So I think Delightful Reason sort of got out in 25 there the other week, so we may look to just tuck him in and get a sit nice and early, I think.
Okay, so if he gets that easy run on the inside or somewhere close, is he still capable of running top 3?
I think he is if he sort of improves off Saturday. The only real query is he probably hasn't sort of ever won a race off the fence. But in saying that, I think the race does look like it'll be good tempo and probably should be following a good live helmet there anyway. So if we can be 1-1 and they're running hard, I think he should run a good race.
You raised a good point. It's a deep field. There's several winning chances here.
Yeah, and sort of the wide draws out front probably force the hand of a couple. I probably see Bonnie Prince Louis driving forward, and if Letizier drives forward, he'll probably have to park out. So that's probably what I need to happen and keep the tempo genuine enough.
Okay, well, that's Paravani in race number 2. Let's go across to race 4. Ahoka Jimmy. He's so close to a win. So close, Matt.
Yeah, he never puts in a bad run in these veteran races. He's been ultra consistent for a period of time now, and he sort of runs a place every week, and he just needs that little bit of luck somewhere, and he'll win one of these very shortly again.
He backs up from Tuesday. He ran a cracker again on Tuesday.
Yeah, no, and sort of last Saturday night it was only really drive error that probably got him beat. Sort of went down 3 fence thinking it would work out, and the gap sort of didn't work out for him, but he hit the line, sort of nowhere to go, and showed on Tuesday he was going just as well when he bobbed up from 1-1 and just run third.
Okay. These veteran races, I like them. I think they're very competitive, and I think this race again on Saturday night will illustrate how competitive this grade of horse is.
Yeah, they are very good races at the moment. Sort of the barrier draws are helping them too at the moment. The only thing sort of lacking maybe at the moment is horses with high gate speed off the front, but it's probably helping us with a Hoka Jimmy anyway at the moment.
Okay, well that's a Hoka Jimmy. If he's closed, this guy must be banging the door down. Prince Joy, he's been a runner-up 3 of his last 4. Draw looks a little sticky there on Saturday night, but how do you rate this guy?
Yeah, he's another one of the Sean and Taylor's horses that have been airborne for a couple of months. Barrier draws probably don't really affect him. We don't normally use him up early anyway, so bad draws don't really matter with him as long as the tempo is genuine. He's normally hitting the line strong, and his form's been good, and it's sort of no stronger race than he's been racing. He just needs things to go his way.
He's made that good transition though, where he was racing really consistently at Redcliffe, but he's brought that good Redcliffe form to Albion Park, and week in, week out, he's running good races.
Yeah, he really has just stepped it up. I actually made the comment the other week, I don't know why he wasted so long going to Redcliffe. But no, it's sort of helped him in the long run and really improved him as a horse, I think.
Okay, that's Prince Joy in race number 5. Race 6, another one from the Sean and Taylor Gillespie stable to Rock Nien. He's bursting to win a race, this guy.
Yeah, his 3 runs for Taylor and Sean have been really good. Sort of last week, he thought he was never going to get up on the corner. He's come from a long way back and made up a lot of ground, and was probably beaten by a handy horse in the end too, so he's been racing really well. Did
he surprise you last week how close he got, given how far off you were from the leaders at the 400?
Yeah, for sure. Sort of after his first up run, I probably thought he could win that second up start when I went around to the breeze on him, but turned out the leader was just too good and got a 27 third quarter and sort of got me chasing. But driven colder again the other night and sort of didn't have much options and just buried him 5 fence at the 1200, and he couldn't have done any more from back there.
So with Saturday night drawn out in gate 7, is that the biggest obstacle, just the gate?
Yeah, sort of the one we get every week at the moment. He hasn't got a draw, but when he was racing at Menangle, they were driving him pretty hard and he looked to keep running on, but sort of after last week gives me confidence to just sort of drive him how we see it. I think he is a bit versatile now.
Okay, race 7, here's a good draw for you on Saturday night. Barrier 1, a whole lot of pretty. 5th last time out, but Barrier 1 in this type of race is a godsend. How do you rate her chances?
Yeah, she actually raced really well last week. Sort of in that grade, she's probably got to be driven sit sprint, and she was last week, and she actually found the line really nicely. Does look to be a lot of speed off that front row, I think, and maybe a horse like Molly's Marielle makes a move from the second row. If we can just sort of be forward enough without doing too much work, hopefully, and get a cold sit and see what we can do up the straight.
Yeah, so if she's just sitting there on the inside and there's a genuine tempo, just minding her own business, she's capable of causing a bit of an upset here.
Yeah, I think we probably haven't really seen the best of her, I think, because she is quite fast mare, but a lot of the times here at Redcliffe it doesn't pan out, and she bobbed up there in that mare's QO a couple months ago and sort of struck some hard races since then, so this is probably her grade now, and with a good draw, which she hasn't had for a long time, you know, if they roll even and don't get home too quick, I think she will be suited.
All right, and we go to the last 2 races. They're both for the trotters. 2 good drives here for you. Bourbon on the Rocks firstly. Race 9, number 5. Doesn't know how to run a bad race.
No, I'm pretty happy with the 2 trot drives at the moment. She's been very consistent, Bourbon, and sort of does everything right, and very versatile, and she's just been ultra consistent recently.
So this is a stand start, and they're all pretty much off the front row. From gate 5 or position 5, is that a good thing for you or not?
Oh, I'd rather be on the fence and not have to do anything, but you know, stand starts are always different. I think the main objective is to get away, and I normally look to try and lead every stand start I'm in, but sort of out there, and we may sort of look to step and try and tuck her in. I think Lisa Castleton's probably the one to beat in that race again.
But given how consistent she is getting away from the tapes, if a couple just sort of wrong-footed at the start, she could easily find herself in front.
Yeah, for sure. You know, she is pretty quick and pretty safe to that first corner, so if we sort of get the jump on them, we'll be taking advantage of it.
Okay, in the last race, race 10, number 6, Majestic Simon. This is a nice little rapport you're building with this guy, and he can trot.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy to have a couple of steers on him. He's sort of just a different league to any sort of trotter I've driven before, so I'm pretty happy just to get the drive on him.
Okay, now the obvious question, the most obvious question I've got to ask. Mobile start, you sort of know him a bit now, but do you just rev his engine at the start here? Do you light him up from 6?
Not too sure. I reckon this week maybe one I make up on the gate. You know, I think he is very versatile, and I think maybe his best thing is how fast he actually is. Sort of if we roll forward and lead, we'll probably either have Sugar and Spice or Van Sank sitting on our helmet, which then we're giving them the good trip. If we could sort of tuck in somewhere and use his speed too, it sort of would make a good race as well. But whatever option we do take, I'm sure he'll run a good race.
They're the two main dangers, aren't they? Sugar and Spice, Van Sank?
Yeah, for sure. Sort of be like to have a better trip than them, I guess.
Yeah, but just on the way he felt last time out, could they sort of knock you off? He was really good winning there last time out.
Yeah, he was awesome. Sort of didn't sort of move a muscle on him until after up the straight. Sort of not really surprised me because I know he's been such a good trotter, but just the feeling he gives you when he sort of picks up the bit and goes, it's pretty unbelievable.
And that was Lisa Castleton chasing you there. She's come out and won since, so that form line looks really good.
Yeah, it does, and sort of it shows Sugar and Spice sort of slips back into that other grade pretty well. Lisa Castleton slips back into that other grade pretty well as well, so yeah.
So is that your best drive then on Saturday night? We've got to be patient and wait for the last?
Yeah, I'd say we're waiting until the last.
Okay, race 10, number 6, Majestic Simon for Matty E. They've certainly found a good little combination, this pair, Majestic Simon and Matty. Hey, Matty, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside Saturday night.
Too easy, thank you.
A big thanks to both Taleah and Matt giving up their time and insights ahead of their drives on Saturday night, and both have some really good drives there on the weekend, so we wish them the very best of luck. Time now to find a winner or two for this meeting, and we want value. That's what we want 2023 to be all about, value. Hopefully I've found a couple here on Saturday night. I'm going to start with race 5, number 9, the Hummer. I love the way this guy attacked the line last week. He's got a nice trailing draw here this Saturday night, and this is a race that he should prove very competitive in. So race 5, number 9, the Hummer. And if we get something out of him, we can double down in the very next race. Race 6, number 8, the General. He had no luck whatsoever last Saturday night. He's got a nice trailing draw here on Saturday night, inside of the second row, but following out a good beginner, hopefully luck can be on his side. So race 5, number 9, and race 6, number 8. Hopefully we've found some value for us punters here on the weekend at Albion Park. We've got 10 races on the card. We start at 5:24. We'll see you trackside.